The Endurance E-Racing World Championship Le Mans 24 Hours is brought to you by ESR Esports Network, Fleet Gaming, Sim Lab, Husingfeld, Simplexity, Acetech, and AMD Ryzen Radio.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2020 GTR 24H Endurance E-Racing World Championship finale here from the Circuit de la South in Le Mans. Behind us, Yousuf, we have the standings, and I think it'd be nice if you went through them for us.
Yes, in the GT class, Tiziano Brioni still leading from Adam Baldwin and Jose Berengoa. And, well, Michael Sedlacek actually jumping in. There is a bit of a battle for second place. In the GT3 class, Bullha Milan is leading the way ahead of the Nightmare car, and we don't really know if they are even with pit stops remaining or if Bullha has one extra stop. Hypercar class is pretty much done and dusted. Viaduct didn't have a chance of closing in onto Ibrahim Khan, but at the moment they're running a little bit slower, 3 seconds a lap. The pace in the LMP2 class, Yone Simacek is really pushing, setting the fastest lap of anyone in these wet conditions. But he's over a lap behind, so he needs to pull out something rather miraculous if he wants to close in onto the 17 car.
Yep, indeed. Now, Bullha Milan, obviously, as we said, we're not sure if he is due another stop anytime soon, but I don't think he will be. I think he's going to be looking to extend that gap as much as he can, because of course, when he does come into the pits, he is going to potentially come out behind the rest of, or come out second in the
GT3 class, and I'm expecting him to pit within about 20 minutes or in about 15-20 minutes, to be honest. And with just under 3 hours remaining, well, that could mean another 2 stops or maybe another, well, I'm not really sure because the cars do go quite far in the GT class, and there's a lot of opportunities for fuel saving here at Le Mans as well, all through the Porsche curves you can be lifting, and of course down into the Mulsanne chicanes as well.
Indeed, I'm just looking pretty much up and down the timing sheets at the moment, because again, it seems that this is the only fight that we have, although Guillaume Mas,
apparently Jose Berengoa is only 8 seconds behind Michael Sedlacek, having gained 8 seconds on that last lap over the number 74 Deuces Motorsport Club car.
So we do have a couple of fights on our hands, and another one we have is this one on the screen. Guillaume Mas is closing in on David Nichols, who's in that Satellite Racing LMP2 car, the 64. Guillaume in the number 11 One Move car. Those guys are also only a minute and a half ahead of the 007 Pro Sim car, and this would be the fight for 5th.
Yeah, Satellite Racing right now trying to recover after what has been a fair bit of disaster, and of course One Move Esports looking to get a place further up and try to kind of secure themselves 4th place in the championship, which might be a bit too much of an ask considering the number of points that the number 10 and number 47 cars of PINSIM Drillers Esports and Seawolf Net Race Motorsport will be racking up. So they're currently in 1st and 2nd in the race, and that is going to be 54 points and 38 points respectively.
Indeed. I'm just having a look again, because again, as that is 5.3 seconds at the moment, that gap is slowly coming down, I feel. David Nichols a 7-minute 14 laps, so how long was that pit stop for them?
Not so long, and probably had some repairs to do, did the Satellite Racing car.
Also, we were told during the break that the B32 car was advised to pull the plug and rejoin, as it would potentially take less time than getting that car back to the pits and sitting through all the repairs.
I also just want to compare the outlaps for your 2 GT3 class leaders, because it was a 5:47.7 for the 777 Nightmare car, and Bullha Milan, I'm just trying to see where he is. Bullha, where are you right now, my dude? I think he's coming towards the end of his lap, but I just can't see him on my screen. Okay, no, he's about to make his way into the Porsche curve. So let's see if he can beat that lap time of the Nightmare car, because if he can, then maybe he has a chance of making the overcut work and jumping ahead of the Nightmare car.
We have yellow flags in sector 1 again. Wonder why this time.
It is the number 20. It was Ian Pfeiffer.
Ian Pfeiffer he's still going at somewhat of a relatively decent pace. He's just gone off at the Dunlop chicane, so I'd assume he's just looped the car around under braking. And he gets that car moving as the Deuces Motorsport Club car comes to put another lap on him.
And now Bohemian making his way into the Ford chicanes. And this is where we get to see, as he trumped the 777 Nightmare cars,
almost 2/10 slower. So those guys are starting to pick the pace up, I feel. They actually did that time, they actually did a lap as fast as the DGTL GTE car.
Yeah, quick lap coming through from Bohemian. You know he is pushing, only a second slower than what Tiziano Brioni did, who is the GTE class leader. So very quick times from Bohemian, pushing as hard as he dares.
It'd be interesting to see what the DSR 777 Nightmare car is going to do.
I'm just trying to look. Yannick Simonchek at the moment is making his way into the Dunlop curves, and the number 17 of Jamie is making his way into the Dunlop.
Bin-Suhayl actually finally showing himself in that car. First time we've seen Jaime in the car all race, so good to see Tatoué in the car, driving for the number 17 PINSIM Drillers Esports squad. Meanwhile, that is Yannick Simonchek trying to make a lapping maneuver on the DSR Nightmare car coming through the Porsche curves, but thinking better of it. Smart man, smart move, and gets past on the run down towards the pit entry.
Yeah, and what is that gap currently between your GT3 class leaders? 1 minute and 21 seconds, and I'm pretty sure it was larger than that one lap ago. The Nightmare car will complete its lap.
It's a minute and a half now, jeez.
I think that last lap time was invalidated for the 777 car.
Yeah, it's potentially may have run over something, not too sure. Well, not run over something, but run slightly too wide.
And actually, DIS are running really slowly. They did a 4:17 on that last lap. Did they come into the pit?
I'd assume so. 134.7 first sector, which would signal that they have just had a pit stop.
Also, Ian Pfeiffer in the GTE class, only 8 seconds behind ID Simsport now. And running a couple of seconds a lap quicker as well. So we may still have moves happening down in the GTE field.
Again, only 2 hours and 53 minutes to go. We're under 3 hours to go. We have made it longer than any virtual Le Mans event in the entirety of rFactor 2's history. Especially, well, at least recently anyway, has gone. So, Motorsport Games.
Confetti?
Confetti button! I know we have a confetti button as well. He showed that to me the first day we were here.
I think all of our Sprint Series viewers do love the confetti button.
Yeah?
No. We refuse to believe you.
Yousuf's favourite button has been deleted from existence. Lack of buttons. I still saw some buttons beneath the ones that you have on the right hand side.
To be honest, I think we should be giving control of the confetti button.
You would spam it 24/7 and that would not go down well.
I spam it 25/7 because, there've been 25 hours in this day.
It's a 24-hour race, that's why we ended an hour earlier than we started.
Yes, but, I'm just saying I could do it 25 hours because in the last day we have had 25 hours because the air clocks went an hour back. But yes, it is a 24-hour race, and hence why this race will be finishing at 12 o'clock Danish time and not 1 o'clock Danish time.
Because otherwise we'd be doing a 25-hour race.
Yes, and I think our viewers can understand the issue with doing a 25-hour race in what is called the 24 hours race.
I mean, Spa would have been doing a 24-hour race. The current Spa 24 is going on at the moment.
Yes, but the racing's far better here. Okay, yeah. Rip Mantis.
Mantis Raker struggling to survive the pain.
I do feel bad for Mantis and the LMP2 Team Rookie Monsters team, because I mean they've had so much bad luck. It has been very unfortunate for them that, you know, kind of everything has been thrown at them. But fortunately for them, they are still looking to claim the LMP2 title. 4 points ahead of ID Sim Sport at the moment. And well, they are ahead of ID Sim Sport in the race, so that is all that they need to do. And well, they've done a good job of, you know, not giving up hope and staying out on track and holding on to the points. Now, how are our GT3 class drivers doing? So the gap from Burst Milan to the Nightmare car is now 1 minute 20. Burst Milan is closing that gap down, and I do think when he comes into the pits, or when he comes out of the pits, he will be ahead of that 777 Nightmare car, and that gap is fluctuating right around a pit stop length. And actually on that last lap, the 777 Nightmare car was able to pull out half a second out of Burst Milan's lead.
Interesting indeed, especially in terms of lap time at least. So I'm just laughing at something that Nick Muka is messaging me about our confetti cannon button that we have here in the studio. Well, we did have anyway.
Yeah, we can see the Team Rookie Monsters set up from Simon Marshall's screen. They've got some nice sofas.
He has got a very nice setup. I will admit, I have seen it. It is absolutely beautiful, the setup.
Can I get invited?
You'd have to ask Simon.
No. Simon, can you invite me?
As you see behind us, the beautiful setup in the middle of the screen.
See, you weren't here last time, were you? Because we did dating tips. We interviewed the drivers and asked them for pickup lines.
Oh no, we should do that again.
I think Simon had a really good one. I think Nick had a pretty good one as well. Mantis's was pretty much just turn up on his bike, really. Which, to be fair, is a pretty good pickup line.
It is Mantis.
I mean, he's literally picking them up on the bike, so...
Yeah.
He gets the idea.
Well, maybe if any drivers are around or anyone has any good pickup lines, use the hashtag GTR24Race. We have 3 hours to go. We'll read out some of your pickup lines, and it's the same. The studio has been moved again back to the Ford chicane.
So now if a car misses the Ford chicane,
he's going to hit you in the
they'll
head.
hit me just like this car here. Oh, wait, I went into it. No,
You tried to drive into it.
Have you ever tried, you know, the other technique, which is open your mouth and let, like, the car go into your mouth, like, here comes the aeroplane, but here comes the GT car.
Why do I work with him?
I think you should do it on the start-finish straight.
Why do I work with him?
Just do it.
Why do I work with him?
If I use hashtag GTR24H, will you do it?
No.
You blew Bobby a kiss.
That's because Bobby's a long-term friend of mine for at least like 7 years now.
Can you message in with the hashtag GTR20?
No!
Wait, he's out on track, isn't
Actually,
he?
is he in the car?
Oh, yeah. Bobby, can you
Yes,
just
he is in the
pull
car.
over for a second and message Alex?
No.
They'll look cool.
No. Christ almighty, why do I work with this? Anyway, if you have any dating tips or any pickup lines, put them in the chat, either in Twitter on the hashtag GTR24H or in our YouTube chat, and get hold of us, or even in Twitch chat. I haven't thought about actually looking at Twitch chat recently. So
Good job, Alex. I'm not even going to pick up his...
I didn't realise that had fallen off.
Did you not hear it?
No.
Are you deaf?
Yes.
Okay. Just a quick update in the GT3 class. The gap is now 1 minute 18 seconds because Burst Milan is pushing And he's a draw. Oh, sorry, wait, no. Nightmare are pushing, and they are bringing that gap down by 1.5 seconds per lap. Apologies on that one. Ian Pfeiffer as well running a little bit slower than the ID Sim Sport car. The gap between them is now 15.5 seconds, so that is stretching out. And also in the 334 car, that is Fair Racing Team, and is that Max? I know it's Max. I can't read the surname right now.
Why?
What did Peter do? He just what?
Why would you move it that tiny of an increment? It was fine.
With what?
The camera.
Okay.
Like,
It's because I headbutted it, remember?
just like,
and I knocked it out of position.
Like, you knocked it that way.
Right. And then
And he
Peter
just moved,
adjusted it. And
he just moved it that way.
It the wrong way. Peter's a perfectionist, unlike you, Alex, okay?
And you clearly do actually not know me.
Well, I mean, you're the one complaining about Peter trying to be a perfectionist.
I'm just saying, it's like, it looks...
It sounds like a complaint to me. There you go. Definite answer. Spirit levels do not lie.
Meanwhile, a yellow flag in the final sector. Who has gone off? I believe it's an LMP2 car. It is 14th place overall, I believe.
It's Tarbotten.
It's Dylan Tarbotten, yeah, and it is the Satellite Racing GT car as well. So what has happened there?
Contact between GT and LMP2 car.
I have to look. I'm going to try and find Ian Pfeiffer. And that car, is that car crabbing at all? It looked like it was kind of crabbing. No, that car is absolutely fine.
Yeah, but it's getting completely passed by the McLaren, and you would not expect that to happen with a GTE car.
Apparently our timing is locking up as well, so we apologise. We'll try and get that fixed for you as soon as possible. When Peter responds and hears us saying about the timing being broken and locking up.
My timing's fine.
I don't think he means that timing. I think he means the other timing. There are multiple timings.
Why did you break the timing, Alex?
How am I the one breaking the timings? Like Nico Barkley was the first one to complain about timing, so I'm going to blame Nico Barkley. Because Nico
You're very
said,
good at blaming people, aren't you, Alex?
I am. I blame myself for a lot of things actually as well, but I'm just going to blame Nico Barkley on this one because for the first time ever, I don't want to blame myself. So
right. Okay, let's take a look at the gap from Bohemian to the Nightmare car. Good job, Nico.
Well, there are other people having this.
Pfeiffer.
It's on the website that it's locking up, Peter, and that's what I'm. Come and read this, then, is what I'm going to say.
Oh, apparently we get to interview Nick Newcomber, which I will take. But yeah, I mean, timing's working for us fine, and that's what's going out on broadcast, so...
There's multiple people that are having the issues, but of course...
Nothing we can really do, I guess. Well, I don't know.
Oh, meanwhile, the Satellite car is round again.
Oh, no. That is not good for Satellite. And how far down the order will they drop? Is this Satellite in GT3 or
Yeah,
LMP2?
the 65 again, Ian Pfeiffer.
Yeah, and he's already languishing at the back. He was 30 seconds down on ID Sim Sport, and now that gap's just going to extend that little bit.
Hey, speaking of Barkley, he owes us an interview.
Oh, it's Barkley who owes us an interview, okay.
Yeah, it is. It's Nico Barkley. Oi, Nico, get yourself in.
I'm sure right now he's maybe a bit busy watching Yerne Simonchik.
Why would he be busy watching?
Oh, sorry.
He'd be busy. He'd be busy watching.
Bohemian. Yeah, sorry.
The car that is on your screen. The number 77, Wanako Taco time car. That is currently in the lead by a minute and a half.
Yeah, that gap is going back up. It was 120 when the pit stop was made. It dropped to about 118, and now it's back up to 122. So, Bohemian, we are expecting to come into the pits within the next few minutes. And then we'll have to see where he comes out relative to that Nightmare car. Now that Borja Milan is...
Oh, and apparently there's an issue for the E-Team Brick car. They are gone again. A disconnect, I believe. That or the engine has gone. Not sure which.
Slow car. Just leaving second Mulsanne.
And a slow car as well, leaving the second Mulsanne. I think that is the E-Team Brick car, potentially.
It might be. I know Tiziano Brioni's just gone through, as has Davide Arduini, but none of them are looking particularly slow.
Now to Mulsanne. Hairpin.
Hold on, could that be Brioni there?
It's Ian Pfeiffer, I'm pretty sure. I think it's Ian Pfeiffer.
Well, a slow car, quote unquote. No one is going slowly there. So I'd like to know who this slow car is, because I don't see anyone that is going slow.
Car is back up to speed now. Car is back up to speed.
There we go.
So, how are our GTE cars doing? Tiziano Brioni still leads from Michael Sedlacek, ahead of Jose Berengawa.
It was Pfeiffer. It was Pfeiffer indeed. But he wasn't at a low speed when I saw him, which is, I was like, it doesn't look like there is anyone that's slow.
I'm pretty sure he has a lot of damage to the car. I wonder if he'll just dive into the pits and maybe call it a day, maybe just go back out and hope for some positions to fall his way. By the way, that Simply Race car is not going to be getting many points and not really going to be going anywhere up the
It's not the Simply Race car, that is the satellite racing car.
Does he Simply Race car?
Yes, you did.
I do apologise. In my head, I said satellite race car.
I was going to say, you said Simply Race when you're looking at the satellite car, which is A, a Porsche, B, completely different colour scheme, and C, completely different driver.
I should hope it's a completely different driver if it's a different team. Oh, that is a big moment from Borja Milan, who goes completely sideways through the Porsche curve. He is pushing really hard, and I thought he had lost that back end, but I wonder if we can get that on action replay, actually, because that was a pretty spectacular slide from Borja Milan. There's also a yellow flag out in Sector 3. That is Tiziano Brioni, I think. Can we bring...
No, Brioni is into the pit lane.
Okay. Well, that would explain why Brioni was going a little bit slowly. Borja Milan across the line. What is this lap time going to be? It's a 4:13.4. Yeah, he lost a couple of seconds through the right-hander, or sorry, through the left-hander
slide that he had, yeah.
Did you catch that?
I didn't catch it. No, I didn't see it until you mentioned it. I tried to switch as quick as I could.
Jerne Simonic, or Simonchek.
Simonic, that's a new one.
Simon.
I've heard people pronounce it worse, believe me. Jerne Simonic is still currently the fastest LMP2 of them all, 3:26.7, which, remember, he is set in these exact conditions.
Yeah. And fastest man out on circuit.
Which is annoying, because that means he took that lap time away from my guys who actually had set that during the night, before the car blew up.
Yeah. 5 seconds quicker than Mr. number 17. Which is the PINSIM Drillers Esports, who lead the LMP2 class. Jerne Simonic making his way out of the second Mulsanne chicane, and Jaime Tatui making his way down into Indianapolis. So Jerne is about, I want to say, 20 seconds and a lap behind. It is surmountable. It is possible. If
it's very, very difficult.
Yeah, very difficult indeed. But it, 5 seconds a lap, it could be somewhat close.
Yep, but what we're going to do is take a quick break here from the action. We'll be back in a few minutes with more action from the finale of the Endurance E-Racing World Championship.
The Endurance E-Racing World Championship Le Mans 24 Hours is brought to you by ESR Esports Network, Fleet Gaming, Sim Lab, Husingfeld, Simplexity, Acetec, and AMD Ryzen Radio.
games? Do you like esports? Do you hate watching laggy streams of tournaments on 13-inch screens? Oh my god! Of course you do. But you don't have to worry about that anymore. He has a jump, son!
Simplexity is a Danish designer and manufacturer of high-grade sim racing platforms. Their 3 different levels of platforms come in a variety of colors and configurations. Choose from the V4, built from 40 by 40mm extruded aluminium profiles, the V8 built from 80 by 40mm profiles, and the high-tier V12 built from 160 by 40mm extruded aluminium profiles. Prices range from 470 to 750 euros. Go to facebook.com/simplexity.eu and start a messenger chat to inquire more about the options for colors and customization.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the GTR 24H 24 hours here at Le Mans for the 4th and final round of the Endurance E-Racing World Championship. I am still Yousuf Bin-Suhayl, and I'm now joined by Corvette Hat. Hang on, I can do this. Corvette Hat. Nothing to see here. Borja is into the pits. Where will he come out relative to the Nightmare car? I'm just laughing because I know when Alex turns up, he's going to have this very questioning look at me because I kill a Corvette Hat. A little bit like Borja might be killing the Corvette of the 777 Nightmare car. And where is that Nightmare car? It is coming through the Corvette curves and now towards the Ford chicane. And this is going to be close. Remember, the gap before they both pitted was about 4 seconds. And the Nightmare car making its way through the final Ford chicane. You might be able to see in the background of your shot, actually. So when the 720S of it's now Ricardo Costa comes out, it will be behind. I'll be behind by a fair bit, to be honest. But the number 77 is now 13 seconds behind. And I wonder if there was a tire change as well. The rain is still falling, but not by a lot. Alex has returned.
Give me a minute.
So, Ricardo Costa taking over in the GT3 class from Borja Milan, and Ricardo Costa will probably be going to the end of the race from here. 14 seconds is the gap between the 777 Nightmare car and Ricardo Costa in that one Echo Racing car. Can he close it down? And we can see from this more aerial shot, the rain is still definitely falling here at Le Mans.
Well, I can hear myself now. Can you hear yourself?
Yes, I can.
There we go. Maybe Peter just muted us for 30 seconds.
Right, where are gaps dropping? So Yannick Simonjek just recently pitted. So he's going to be a little bit further behind now on Mr. Jaime.
Linus Lundvall is 28.1 seconds behind number 14 by Dixon Carl. It's now second.
Also just seeing the gaps in the GT-E class. I think they are starting to slowly drop.
Just seen Bobby Tranley come into the pit lane as well. He's actually now behind the two leading LMP2 cars.
That he is.
David Greco still over a minute and still over a minute and 10 seconds, or a minute 20 seconds now over Michael Sedlacek.
But his outlap was a very slow lap, 6 minutes, which is one of the slowest outlaps that we have seen all race long.
I mean, they know they've got the time in hand. Again, they're a pit stop ahead of second place. Why are they going to push it?
Well, I mean, there's nothing really to push in a pit stop, is there?
Well, yeah, exactly, that's what I'm saying. It may be one of the slowest laps, but they've got nothing to push for, so...
Yeah, but why would you just sit in the pits for an extra 20 seconds?
They're not. They're probably having a... Well, no, because they've already lost that 20 seconds, taking time to make sure they got out of the track, or potentially because of traffic and other things.
Okay.
Because traffic can cost you a lot. And again, we didn't see exactly what happened.
It can.
But if they may have had damage from contact with the prototype and maybe hit the barrier somewhere.
True. But the gap is still dropping. And with 2.5 hours remaining, there is still time, there is still a chance for the 74 or the 51 to close that gap down. But that being said, last time around, David Greco was able to pull out a second over Michael Sedlacek, so clearly back up to full speed and extending his lead in the GTE class. In the GT3 class, though, Ricardo Costa is closing in onto the Nightmare car. That gap was about 14 seconds before the ad break, or I think it was about 14 seconds before the ad break, and now it is down to almost 12 seconds flat, and it is dropping at a very, very quick rate. Or as I say that, yeah, it starts to increase again.
Indeed, sorry, I was getting sidetracked with a couple of things I was looking at.
Also taking a look at the DGTL car, which is currently almost 40 seconds behind the PIB car. And we know that those two had been battling for quite a while early on in the race last time round. What was the gap? Well, 1 second plus quicker was the PIB car, so they should have that position as well fairly sorted, but it's less than a minute, so easily surmountable. Now, where is Michael Sedlacek on circuit? He's actually just crossing the line now, is Michael Sedlacek. And that is another 4:08 for Michael. 4:05 for Ozzy Berenguer. That is 3 seconds quicker for the number 51. The WOSR iZone Performance car.
Just looking at the leading GT3 car and the leading GTE car together on circuit. That is David Greco just lapping the 777 Nightmare car. Those two have been leading class, excluding, pit stop cycles and stuff, for the majority of the time since the halfway point. So good to see those guys have been doing solidly all race long since then.
Yeah, it's been a strong showing for Musto in the GTE class. It's been a very strong showing for One Echo to find themselves, looking for the win despite what were so many, despite the issues that they had towards the start. And we can now see that the rainfall has, I'm trying to work out if that's an increase or a decrease, but it's 3 millimeters now per hour. That is an increase, so the rain is not letting off. It is coming down harder. So no chance of a drying circuit, really, to finish off the 24 hours here at Le Mans.
And I believe the 199 car has had an accident. Yes, it has. It's currently concealed behind the wall of the Dunlop Bridge. Ah, there it is. So what has happened to that car? How's it looped it up there?
Has it just lost traction on
Well,
the
that
exit?
car is stopped. It's got its headlights on, which is usually a good sign that it's still got some engine power. Wipers still going.
Also, Ricardo Costa, last time around, did a 5:53.2. Of course, that was coming out of the pits, but the gap between himself and the 777 Nightmare car now 10.5 seconds, and I think he gained something ridiculous like 4 seconds on his outlap. So, really pushing is Ricardo Costa in that one-acre car, and he will be closing in to the 777 Nightmare car very shortly.
Yep, just about to lap the Musto AMG is Ricardo Costa. Closes up behind, goes to the left-hand side. The Musto car makes it nice and easy.
Of course, there's no real issues at all. It's getting lapped is that Musto GT3 car, and remember that Musto GT3 car at one point was running in second place. It was looking set for a really strong result. And then remember, had that issue, went into the pits, the issue didn't get fixed, came out, had a spin, got collected by the LMP2 cars. But that was all so long ago. So last time around, 1.8 seconds quicker was Ricardo Costa. He did a 4-minute 10.2, and the gap to the 777 Nightmare car now just over 10 seconds. So David Nichols is into the pits.
I'd say we're now getting the rain that was flying over Le Mans not that long ago, Yousuf, outside of outside of our actual window here in the studio in Denmark.
Yeah. Or maybe this is the very rain that went over Le Mans
Well, that's what
6 hours ago.
Pretty much. Which means we're going to have a great flight back.
Oh no, does that mean turbulence? Well, I'm going to be getting sick in the plane. That should be fun.
And that's why I'm on the opposite side of the plane to you.
Don't worry, I'll come and join you.
No, you will not. I'll put up a barrier with a massive cross, like a plague cross next to it.
You're going to call the stewardess and just say, this man is not socially distancing. I'm like, we were in the same place this entire weekend.
Still not the same household, my friend, which in UK airspace.
Same studio holds.
Yeah, I don't really have an option about that, otherwise I can't do my job. Meanwhile, as you can all see, I'm actually quite happy sat how I am now.
Yeah.
Quite comfortable.
Alex's knee making a little showing onto the stream as well.
It's comfortable, like...
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Just looking...
I'm gonna put Penchan.
Why?
I don't know. It's like a little addition. Guys, do you like Penchan in the Porsche? Let us know. #GTR24.
For Christ's sake.
Oh.
Can people tell we're running out of ideas?
No, I'm not running out of ideas. I've got plenty more of these. Do you want to have a driver Pensan? Oh, that is big.
I'm trying to find it, but my mouse has decided to fail me at the worst possible time.
And where has this
there it is.
happened?
Oh, big off. That is crabbing like absolutely mad.
Has that lost a rear tyre?
Well, no, because it's still driving, let's put it that way.
I mean, we've seen cars drive with 3 tyres before.
Yeah, but if you lose it on the drive wheels, it completely dies. You can't get back to the pits on one rear tyre because of the way that the car actually pitches. That car getting off the circuit, I'd actually... Oh, God. David,
Getting well out of the way.
Extremely close to it, though.
I don't think it's enough to cause a full course yellow.
It won't be, no, because that car is on the pit limiter, out of harm's way. Not driving like the ground effect Ferrari we saw during last night.
And it's so important right now that Tom Lambert just gets this back home nice and safely, because he's got himself a 10-lap advantage over ID Sims. For all he has to do is just cruise it back, make no more mistakes in the final 3 hours.
What was that?
Dylan Tarbotton. Oh, sorry, that's the 337, is not the 37. Okay,
Yeah, it's the 337, not Tom Lambert's, though. That is Dylan Tarbotton.
That is good news for Team Rookie Monsters.
Well, I mean, it's only one place. Would have been much worse for that
Slow
team.
car on Mulsanne. Going
Both GTs behind divers spot to the right as
Chicken.
possible.
Yeah, indeed they are. And I'm just taking a look. Ricardo Costa is now 9.2 seconds behind the 777 Nightmare car. He gained 2.5 seconds on that last lap. That gap is dropping, and we might have a bit of a fight on our hands before the 777 Nightmare car needs to make their next pit stop.
Indeed. Good man to say, my heart almost stopped. I mean, yeah, Yousuf got the wrong car number. I said I said Dylan Tarbotton, surely.
I have no idea. I wasn't listening to you, to be honest.
Do you ever? No.
But no, yeah, I'm just purposely trying to give Mantis Wreckers heart attacks. I don't know if I'm succeeding, Mantis.
Probably are.
Probably, yeah. To be honest, I don't really think I need to add to the stress that Mantis Wreckers is currently going through. After what he described to me as the stint of his life at the start, to go from dead last of every single car up to first in the LMP2 class. It was a phenomenal stint. And then Mantis Wreckers jumped out of the car, and that is when things started to happen for Team Rookie Monsters across all categories.
Yeah, hopefully they can get that car at least back to the pits in a short amount of time, so they don't lose too many laps on the guys in front. Again, that car has been sat at the back of the field for a while, although it might give the... I was about to say it might give the ID Simsport car time. But
Okay,
no,
guys, I'm going to try something
back.
risky. Peter, shout at me if you don't want to do this. I'm going to move my mouse to click
Slow
on the
car
bottom
sector 2
screen
on the
so
run
that I
down
can like
to
switch
Indianapolis.
cameras.
Well,
So
yeah, no, that's fine.
let's see. It might break everything.
3, 2.
It's working.
Oh, God.
We can ride on board with Ricardo Costa now as well.
You didn't break it. Hooray!
That was the least enthusiastic hooray I've ever heard.
Oh no, I'm just technology is like easy for me, whereas for you it seems to be you other break things and you don't.
Oh, I'm terrible with technology.
My voice sound like then.
Sounds like something from ReZero, to be honest. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Next time you disappear, I'm just going to be like, who's Alex? Ricardo Costa now 8.8 seconds behind the 777 Nightmare car. Another 2.5 seconds taken out of the Nightmare car's lead. How is DIS doing? They're actually gaining 7 seconds a lap on Alvaro and Causti. So the DIS are really pushing. Where are they on circuit though? If I run through the drivers. So that is...
There's actually one of the ID Simsport GTEs behind these guys in GT3, which I find interesting.
So Alvaro and Causti is on the straight leading into Indianapolis. And then you have got DIS who are making their way down into the second Mulsanne chicane. And they're a lap behind.
Slow car sector 3 in Porsche curves.
This is the riskiest part for the Rookie Monsters car. Hopefully it doesn't get collected. They've got the LMP2 leader behind them. So Tui goes straight through. Actually almost loses it because he gets the rear end loose. But that LMP2 car keeping it nice and safe and slow offline.
Yep, and they're about to get a lap by the driver that we're on board with, Ricardo Costa, who's closing in into the Corvette curves. And let's see if Dylan Tarbotton can pull it into the pits before this man closes in. And there you can see.
That was very close with the Team Viaducton hypercar there. And Bohemant just darting out of the way. But that was extremely close between Dylan Tarbotton and the Team Viaducton car. And who's that? He's got it behind. That is the Is that the ID Sim Sport car? Or is that the 11 car? No, that's the 11 car. That's the one
Carter's
car
in
in.
the pits. Carter's in the
That'd be
pits. Track is now clear.
Julian Mas.
I think, is it Guillaume?
Not too sure, actually.
Well, last lap round, the 777 Nightmare car did a 4:12. Ricardo Costa, he's gained by about a second or so, but his lap time was invalidated. Okay, okay, this is kind of confusing me. Oh, it's because it's saying Ricardo Costa's done 11 stops. Pardon me, Nightmare have done 11 stops and Ricardo Costa has done 6. Is that because it's only counting since they rejoined the server after their engine blowout?
So I've just looked at the YouTube chat. Dylan Thomas' teammate, what he just said, he just quoted, "When I said we should use zero wing at Le Mans, that's not what I meant."
Yeah. I see his point.
Yeah, no, I see his point, but it's quite a comedic point at that.
A little bit like how when Musto said that they needed to lighten up the car, they didn't mean lose a wheel.
But yeah, that as well.
So we're still riding with Ricardo Costa, and up ahead you can see spray. And I have a feeling that is the 777 Nightmare car that is producing said spray.
It is, and it's also the 166 ID Sim Sport car.
So 2 cars, double spray.
Yep, they've got the Viaducton car not that far up the road from those two either.
I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is pretty much exactly 6 seconds between Nightmare and Ricardo Costa. Why did I count? I don't know, when we have a timing screen literally right in front of my face, but you know, it's more fun to count, you know, 1,000, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippis, I don't know. I don't know what people's counting techniques are. You can let us know with the hashtag GTR24H. I think Alex is getting a bit fed up of me talking about hashtag GTR24H.
No, I'm just trying to think of things to say at this point.
Yeah. Well, if you want, why don't we just we can commentate over a hot lap from Ricardo Costa as he makes his way out the Mulsanne hairpin if you want.
I mean, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay, well, this will take a good 4 minutes. So, we make our way down the straight, and I guess a fairly short straight by Le Mans standards, down towards Indianapolis. Just keep the car straight, completely flat all the way. And you can see that suspension damage, the wheel being held a little bit to the left, drop it down into 5th gear, and have a little moment with that rear end as you come into the left hand of Indianapolis, down to 2nd gear, ease on the power, don't lose that rear end, as it's so easy to do. Now down into Arnage, is staying off the curb on entry. You can take it through the apex clearly, and now just power on the exit. You take a look to your delta time and you realize you are now only 6.3 seconds behind the 777 Nightmare car. And again, the line of least resistance as you make your way down towards the Porsche curves. Flat out through this left-hander. And now down the brakes, dropping it into 4th gear. Ease on the power, just let that car stick like glue to the circuit. Into the double left-hander. Maybe could have carried a bit more speed, bit of a moment with the rear end. And you can see that Ricardo Costa just fighting that little bit as he makes his way into the Corvette curves, and this is one of the trickiest corners. So you make your way through the left and back and just stepping out, and it's so easy to run wide. And then through the right left, completely flat. And now just the 4 chicanes that are remaining. Nice and late on the brakes, diagonal line. Cut through the first curve and the second, again that back out stepping up. Ricardo Costa really trying to push for all it's worth. Bunny hop over the second chicane and across the line, and that for Ricardo Costa will be a 4:10.000, and it just shows that we gave him a bit of extra luck as he goes 1.5 seconds quicker than the Nightmare car.
Indeed he does, and that Nightmare car has been sat behind traffic, because I see a yellow flag pop up, and I'm used to where the yellow flag is. Sector 3, so
that
everyone seems to be fine on circuit at least, so I'll assume so for now, unless we see otherwise.
Yeah, I think it's all fine, unless could maybe have been the number 12 DGTL car, but I don't think so.
Well, we're now having a look at your GTE race leader. This is David Greco for the number 53 Musto GD car. Great to see these guys doing as well as they have been all since the mid part of the race, and with only 2 hours and 11 minutes left in this race, it is going to be extremely good luck for them if they can keep this car where it is.
One Move Esports are actually closing in on the 64 car of Satellite Racing. The gap is only 8.5 seconds, and I'm pretty sure that was over 10 seconds not too long ago. So they're definitely bringing that gap down, and we might be finding ourselves with 2 different battles on circuit in the final couple of hours. Also, Ian Pfeiffer is now within 5 seconds of ID SimSport in the battle for, I want to say, P8 in the GTE class.
Hey? Ian Pfeiffer's 3 laps off of the 177.
Well, it says on my screen that he's plus 4.4 or 4.0 now, so
What?
okay. Well,
Where? Show me.
it says plus 4.2.
That's to a GP3 car.
Are you sure?
Callum 404. Callum Wilson is in front of Ian Pfeiffer.
But I always
That's
thought
a
when you got
GT3 car.
that interval applied to the
No,
next
that-
car in your class.
No, that's the interval to the car in front.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I did not realise that. So then why does it say... Okay, yeah.
Yes, because Hamilton 2 is 5 laps back to the car in front of him.
Okay. Oh well. Different timing screens doing different things.
No, they both say the same.
No, it doesn't. Because your thing will say plus 2 laps to the car ahead, whereas mine says plus 4
Mine
laps.
says plus 3 to the...
Yeah.
Mine says
So
plus
if you go
3
to
laps.
if you go to
to
the
the ID
overall thing as well, it
car.
will still say plus 3 laps.
Fair enough, I get... Oh, yeah, because this is to the next car in class, whereas yours is to, like,
The
the
next
actual
car.
overall.
Yeah.
Because of the fact this also links up with race control, so... They sort of...
I blame the fact that I'm used to the other timing screen, so still not acclimatized to this. Ian Pfeiffer now 3.6 seconds behind, and you would expect him to catch up to Callum Wilson because the Glam Racing car is in GT3, whereas Ian Pfeiffer is in the GTE. Oh, Ricardo Costa is now within 5 seconds of the Nightmare car. He makes his way to the Porsche curves, and surely he'll be able to see the DSR car up ahead. And he can pretty much just about catch a glimpse just out of the corner of your shot.
Getting very loose, actually, coming out of there as well.
And don't forget, Ricardo Costa is doing this with a damaged car. You can see by how he's holding the wheel, holding a little bit to the left.
I believe that might actually be the Nightmare car coming into the pit lane. It is.
So the Nightmare car
2
not
hours,
having...
8 minutes to go. It's possible that this could be the second to last stop for that car.
I think there's only one more stop at them. Yeah, there's going to be
That's
one
what I
more
said.
stop.
This is the second to last stop for the car.
I don't think there'll be 2 more stops from this point.
Well, no, 2 hours 7 depends how they fuel save and everything else. They could try and make it so they don't. They have a splash test here. Depends. Again, this is going to be. The thing is though, with how the Wanako car is going.
Oh, actually, hold that thought, because we have a battle in the LMP2 class as the number 11 of ID Sim of One Move Esports has really closed in to the 64 of
Marco Antonio Rodriguez, and they are actually side by side almost now, because there's a Glam Racing car there actually between the two. As we go on board with the One Move car, you can see the Satellite Racing car not far up the road, just gone past the Glam Racing Aston Martin. The 404 gets dispatched rather quickly into the braking zone of the Dunlop chicane. This is actually relatively important for the drivers, for the team standings as well, actually, because this will help One Move gain more points in the championship.
And One Move currently in P6. If they can get that P5, that is 10 points, so it'll come up to 22.
Yeah, 22, yeah, because of finishing the race. Well, again, technically 20, obviously, if everyone finishes, which would mean...
They're literally on 50 points, bang on.
That would be 50 points, and
So it'd only be
it would mean well, it
only
would
your
mean,
race winners jump ahead.
Well, it would mean earnest lap-ins. Yeah, it would, 100%. But so to the inside goes the one move SBN car. Oh, it's not the SBN car, sorry, but the one move car will go to the inside, pull back across, and the job is done within 3 seconds of being on the straight into the braking zone. That car has already pulled about half a second on the satellite racing car, or maybe it hasn't. That got a very, very slow exit out, but the satellite racing car didn't seem to get too good an exit either. We'll have to see. They got traffic in front. That is the Telephone Renegade car, not that far up the road, the 188. But I don't think it is going to be enough. Although yellow flag in sector 1 as well.
Yellow flag in sector 1. Who is that?
That's the DIS car. That's the DIS SR Labs car, not the 45, the 46, sorry. And that's missing a rear wheel.
And it is stuck on circuit. They need to get that car off.
They are rolling it backwards off the circuit.
Okay,
and they pulled the plug.
Yep.
Interesting. I'll be curious to see what happened to that car.
Because there is no real wall to hit unless you lose the back end through the Dunlop curve and then hit the inside wall. And that's the only way I can think that you'll lose a rear wheel. So maybe there was contact with another car, but either way, bad news for DISSR. And it does mean that B32 will jump back up into the points unless they have some further issues of their own. Also, little update, DGTL in the GTE class are closing in onto PIB. 26 seconds is the gap, and they gained up 5.5 seconds on that last lap.
Yep, 30 seconds left in that gap. Sorry, 30-second gap, not 30 seconds left, sorry. But it is 10 o'clock local time here in Denmark, which means we're going to go to another ad break. We'll be back in a few minutes' time for more action here from the mall.